Hello, everyone. I am Ryan Bowen, and thank you all for joining me once again. I'm going to start right off the bat with this video by saying that the Democratic Party is absolutely insane and they are lying to the American public. And what am I talking about? What I am talking about is the fact that I'm pretty sure you all know that Trump has been indicted for the fourth time now. And this indictment has to do with him challenging the 2020 election results, presidential election results. Now they're Putin and they're farting and they're snotting about him challenging the 2020 election results. But here's the problem. According to this article I'm about to read you guys, because I got to read you this article because you're gonna hear these facts here. The Democrats have denied election results over 150 times. 150 times. Let's get right into this. Let's get right into this article. And I'm pretty sure that the writer and editor of this article is not making this stuff up. So let's quit playing these games, man. I can't stand these people, man. It says, although a Georgia grand jury indicted former President Donald Trump on Monday for challenging the 2020 election result, Democrats have refused to accept the results of elections they lost for decades. As Breitbart News reported, more than 150 examples show Democrats denying election results, including President Joe Biden, two-time failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Representative Barbara Lee, Maxine Waters. Of course, I can't stand that ugly creature. Yeah, I'm saying it, and I'm not taking it back. And Sheila Jackson Lee. And failed Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams, who is a mad woman, okay? Some of the stuff that woman has said is just completely insane. You keep losing Miss Stacey Abrams because you're a lunatic, okay? The American people, and particularly black people in particular, do not want you. They don't. Well, first of all, you're not attracted to the eyes, okay? But secondly, your policies stink. Now, some black people may be brainwashed in some areas, but we're not that dumb. Okay, let's go on. In fact, every single Democrat president since, get this now, 1977 has questioned the legitimacy of U.S. elections, according to the Republican National Committee. Since in both 2013 and 2016, Biden claimed that Al Gore won the 2000 presidential election. In May 2019, Biden said he, quote, absolutely agrees that Trump was, quote, an illegitimate president. That's not challenging the presidency. That's not challenging the election results. Wait a minute now, y'all farting and pooting about Trump doing it, but now you've been doing it all this long. Okay, it's okay for the Democrats to do it, but let's Trump or Republicans do it, particularly Trump, and all hell breaks loose. Let's go on. Biden cast doubt on the legitimacy of the 2022 midterms this year. In 2006, then DNC Chairman Howard Dean stated that he was, quote, not confident that the 2004 election in Ohio was fairly decided. Representative Nancy Pelosi said it is, quote, appropriate to have a debate concerning the 2004 election and claimed that there were, quote, legitimate concerns regarding the integrity of U.S. elections. Then Representative Bernie Sanders, okay, that communist, okay, cast doubt on the security of the electronic voting machines in the 2004 election, saying he was, quote, worried that some machines did not have a paper trail. Gee, that sounds so familiar, right? Sounds familiar, right? But the crazy thing about it is this is way back in like 2004, dude. Let's go on. Democrats also cast doubt on the 2016 election. 7 House Democrats tried to object to the 2016 electoral votes. After President Trump's victory in 2016, 67 Democrats, this part got me, 67 Democrats boycotted his inauguration, with some claiming Trump's victory was not legitimate. In September 2017, Hillary Clinton said she would not, quote, rule out questioning, and I actually heard that and listened to that interview, rule out questioning the legitimacy of the 2016 election. In October 2020, she added that the 2016 presidential election was not conducted legitimately. okay, saying, quote, "We still don't really know what happened." In addition, it goes on, Democrats supported Stacey Abrams in her stolen election claims. Hillary Clinton said Stacey Abrams would have won. Georgia's gubernatorial race, quote, if she had a fair election, and that Stacey Abrams, quote, should be governor, but was, quote, deprived of the votes she otherwise would have gotten. That's not challenging the electoral results. Let's go on. Senator Cory Booker said, quote, "I think that Stacey Abrams' election is being stolen from her." Senator Sherrod Brown, contended that, quote, "if Stacey Abrams doesn't win in Georgia, they stole it." Senator Elizabeth Warren said, quote, "the evidence seems to suggest the race was stolen from Stacey Abrams. We won," Abrams falsely claimed about the 2018 election. I didn't lose. We got the votes and, quote, "we were robbed of an election." She also called it, quote, "a stolen election" multiple times and argued, quote, "it was not a free and fair election." And that is the end of that scathingly powerful article. But I had to read the entire article because this is absolutely insane. What is this? Like I said in the introduction of this video, this is the 4th indictment of Donald Trump. So what is my summary of all of this craziness and nonsense? Number one, I'm pretty sure that the mainstream media is not going to cover this in length. Now, I could be wrong because I don't watch the mainstream media that much. Really, I hate the mainstream media because every time I turn it on and attempt to even listen to some of the rhetoric that they're saying, my stomach literally balls up into knots because, especially when it's left leaning, because I know they're lying. Because I'm like, no, that's not true. This is what you need to be talking about as well. But they don't talk about that. Why? Because they want it to be biased. They want it to be one-sided. Why? Because they're trying to get at the people. Okay? If the people only hear one side and don't hear the other side, what do you think people are going to do? They're going to stay dumbed down. This type of stuff makes me want to cuss. How soon we forget. How soon we forget. How soon we forget politicians that we said something years ago, we forget it, and then say something totally different in the present. I think something funky's going on around here. Okay, somebody lying somewhere. Somebody got some doo-doo in their underwear and they need to get some tissue and wipe their stinking butt because you stink. You stink. You need to wash your butt. Okay, you lying, no good, low down, degenerate, scumbag morons. That's what you are. I'm not repenting of it. I'm not taking it back because that's what you are. You're lying to the American public. You don't want Trump in office because Trump's agenda and his worldview goes against your globalist, nasty, satanic, demonic agenda. Get over it. You're a liar. These Democrats are lying, man. They're lying. And I know that article is not lying. Why would they want to make that up? I guarantee you, anybody that's bothering to watch this video, you know that article that I read for you from Breitbart News is not lying. I guarantee you know that. You feel it in your spirit. You feel it deep down on the core of your being that article that I read to you was not lying. You know it, unless you done heard it somewhere else and you've said to yourself, oh, the Democrats have been lying all the time. They've been doing the same thing that they accused Donald Trump of doing. It's insane. It's freaking insane. When are the American people going to wake up, man? When are the American people going to wake up and stop letting these lying politicians twist their minds into some kind of silly putty or something? It's time to wake up, man. All this talk about, well, all them kooks on the internet and alternative news sources are a bunch of conspiracy theories. That is a crock of nonsense. Because, first of all, how in the heck would you know if there's millions of people on the internet, literally millions of people on the internet, and perhaps millions of people on YouTube and YouTube sources, having all kinds of YouTube channels. How in the world are you going to be able to vet that out? Because I'm pretty sure no one, not even a supercomputer, have determined that everyone on these alternative news sources are a bunch of kooks and conspiracy theorists. So when the politicians, i.e. the liberal, particularly Democrat politicians, tell you that mess, that's a flat out lie, because no one really knows. They're not sitting up there trying to figure it out. That's just a way to keep your attention on them. It's competition. All eyes are turning towards alternative news sources because people are finding out just how much these politicians are lying. And I pray, I'm going to start summing this video up because I'm ticked off about this, man. But I was talking to a former coworker at my job the other day. We had this strong conversation about this retardation that's going on with Donald Trump. This nonsense. Talking about he's going to get over something 700 years. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we were talking about this, and we were saying, I think he mentioned something that I can't remember everything he said. Oh, man. For the life of me, I can't remember everything that we actually, because we talked for a long time. He works across the street from Tower City, so he came over and we began to talk. We talked at least half an hour. So I can't remember it, but I know we were talking about Trump, and I know we were talking about all this nonsense surrounding him and all these indictments and so forth and how much they're trying to bury Trump. But I will say this. I told them the same thing I've told you guys. They don't want Trump in there because his worldview and his agenda is in confliction with theirs. Okay? Biden fits he fits the persona. Okay? He can be controlled. Trump cannot be controlled. That's a problem for them and his worldview. They can't control that, so they have to find some way to keep him out of the main light, if you will. But I wanted to read you guys that because if you don't know about the lies that these Democrats are pushing on the American people, I've read you that article. That's just some of the lies, clearly, because the article is not going to give you everything. But you have a sufficient enough evidence to support the reality that the Democrats for years have been hooting and farting and snotting about elections being stolen and challenging election results. And yet the same thing that they themselves have been doing and practicing, they're accusing Trump for. And everybody who supports this idea that Trump is wrong for challenging the 2020 election, you need to do some homework and find out for yourself. The same party that you yicking and yakking and you supporting is the same party that's been doing this very same thing for decades. Now what you gonna say? It's retarded. And even at that, I didn't even know that challenging an election result was illegal. Why would you? I mean, because clearly he's been indicted for it. So why would that? I don't understand that. I have to look into that. Somebody school me on that. Because that makes no sense to me. You're going to be indicted for challenging the 2020 election. Maybe it's something that I may need to read my Constitution again and read the Constitution again and find out what that's about. School me in the commentary section on that, because that to me sounds insane to challenge someone, a political figure, to indict a political figure rather, for challenging an election result. That seems insane to me. But let's assume that it's not illegal. Then why in the HELL is being done? Assuming it's not illegal, okay? But even if it is illegal, how come the other senators and other politicians, Democratic politicians, weren't tried for challenging these other elections? 67 Democrats protested or whatever they said. I mean, boycotted. I mean, are you serious? Boycotted this 67? Are you serious? But you won't hear anything about that, will you? You won't hear anything about that from the mainstream media, at least not extensively. But you will hear extensive news footage and coverage of the Donald. You will hear extensive news coverage of Orange Man bad. You will hear extensive news coverage of the funny-haired, toupeed man. You will hear extensive news coverage of him. Why? Because it's all mind control. Sophisticated, highly elevated, highly scientific mind control. But it is time for the American people to come out of their trance state and unplug from the matrix that the mainstream media have put them in. Wake up. You might have to go down that rabbit hole, but go down that rabbit hole. And I'm going to end the video on this. Which pill are they going to take, man? The blue one or the red one? It's up to you. It's up to the American public to choose which pill they're going to take. I know which one I took it, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool. The present may not be the most pleasant, but it's the truth. And as long as I have the truth, Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. As long as I have the truth on my side, and as long as you have the truth on your side, it will set you free, and it will set other people free as well if they want to be. So that's what I wanted to say about it. What do you guys have to say about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.